What's good, YouTube? Prince here, back with another video. Before I jump into this anti-Lee character guide, I know my upload schedule hasn't really been the most consistent. I work night shifts, so I'm pretty much dead tired most of the time, and I can barely even get a chance to play the game. But I've been kind of having a dry spell with Tekken 8 recently. I've been mostly streaming other games on my Twitch, playing Hades 2, Sonic Crossworlds, all that type of stuff. But before I really jump into this, I just want to say I've been watching those beef sets with Mike Hollow, Shinblade, King J, AO Richie, Joe Budden, Moonsalt, all that type of stuff. And the last beef set I just recently watched, and I was thinking of doing an analyst breakdown of the matches. One match, which would be between D all the way G and Moonsalt. Hey Moonsalt, if you're watching this video, bro, hit me up for some coaching, bro. Hit me up for some coaching. If you don't want to hit me up, hit up Blackheart at least. You know what I mean? Hit up somebody. Like, trust me, we can get you right, and we can get you comfortable in that Eddie matchup, and you'll do way better. You'll definitely win if you hit one of us up or something like that, right? But goddamn, my work is calling me and shit, bro. I'm not coming in, bro. This is my day off. I'm not coming on my day off. But yeah. So Lee's a character that I actually am very comfortable in fighting. I have a pretty good win rate against Lee players. It's one of my most comfortable matchups. I'm not here to discuss how strong the character is, because there's honestly no weak characters in the game. In my opinion, every character is perfectly viable. And I don't really have too much trouble against Lee players unless you're fighting GM. Now, fighting GM, play that guy multiple times for fun and sets, and that guy is really the real deal. That guy is definitely the best Lee player, not just in NA, probably the world. And yeah, most of the time I get trashed by him in sets. Honestly, pretty bad. I think the best set I've ever done is I'd win 5-3, and then the last couple of sets I'm just getting demolished. After that I'm getting demolished, and I'm losing 3 sets in a row, and another set, and I'm getting 5-0'd and stuff like that. And after analyzing the replays and breaking that shit down, I think I'm pretty confident in making this anti-Lee guide, and I'm gonna title this "Why People Lose to Lee." And Lee's actually a pretty good character, not broken or by any means. Don't believe in Lee being broken, but also do not believe the people that downplay Lee and say that the character is weak. I'm gonna actually have recorded sequences that we're gonna cover down. I like to do my anti-character guides by going by common sequences that you guys will see offline and online, and then I go into the key moves, and then etc, 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 right? So one of the most old school common scenarios to be in against a Lee player is this: down forward 1, forward 4, follow-up. Now, the reason why this mix-up is actually a legit mix-up is Lee's down forward 1, bless me, as you can see, it's -1 on block. And with it being -1, he can still challenge at times. He can, there's actually a mix-up, right? If you're playing Lee and Lee does down forward 1, you're thinking, okay, he's -1, my turn, right? And what typically happens is a lot of Tekken players have a bad habit of trying to take their turn back with a jab, and this is the sequence you guys find yourselves in, right? He's -1, I do an 11 frame standing 4, his 16 frame forward 4 instantly high crushes, right? 12 frame back 2-2, high crush, 1 jab, high crush, right? So you gotta be a character like Lee. Lee has very strong active frames, some of the strongest active frames in the game, on top of having the fastest counter hit magic 4 in the game, and a very active 2-2-2 string and stuff like that. So Lee can really open players up, and Lee is very strong at getting people to misinterpret when they should swing or when they should take their turn back. This is really a thinking man's character to play and to play against, which makes Lee a very fun character and interactive to fight against, because the Lee player has to really think on how he's going to pursue pressure, and you also have to think, how are you going to take your turn against this character? Just because he's -1 or -2 doesn't necessarily mean that you can swing immediately, right? So obviously, yeah, you could duck and launch forward 4 if you think they're going to go for that after down forward 1. Or you can challenge with your own down forward 1, which is, a mid. If he does another down forward 1 after down forward 1, you will beat him since you're 1 frame faster. There's also step right after the down forward one. Stepping on someone's negative frames is also a pretty good thing to do. And you want to step right if you're thinking that he's going to go for this follow-up. Because if you step left, it actually tracks in that direction, right? So it covers an option there. Safe. On block, it's -5, right? So you're thinking, okay, cool, Prince. Like, he does this, I'll just challenge. He does down forward one, I'll challenge with down forward one right back. Great. Now, here's the mix-up, because this actually is a true mix-up, right? If you think of doing that, remember what I said earlier. Lee has one of the strongest active frames in the game. What does that mean? That means a lot of he has good counter hit tools that are active faster than most moves, right? So, down forward one, -1. I swing with down forward one, right? And this is what could happen. Right? Even my back 2-2 trades in this situation. Right? And then you get put in a combo, right? That is an actual mix-up, right? Now, both of these mix-up options can be beaten by just stepping right afterwards. Right? You know, simple stuff like that, right? But that's kind of like one of the mix-ups right there with Lee. It's like, you try and challenge, and you have to really think about how you're going to try and challenge this character. That's a common sequence. So the down forward one into forward 4, the down forward one into magic 4 string. Both these options can be beaten with a sidestep right afterwards. Since sidestep left in this situation would be, you would have to worry about getting clipped by forward 4. So let's cover another sequence that you see with Lee. And it's this move right here, 1+2, right? Now, a lot of people complain about 1+2 with Lee. Even Mayman was complaining about 1+2 with Lee and saying, oh my gosh, this is like one of the best counter hit strings in the game. A lot of people on Reddit I've been seeing saying that Lee's 1+2 into Hitman is like the most broken counter hit string, counter hit move in the game. And it's actually not. And even though it says +2 when you transition into Hitman, it's not actually +2. Let me explain. It's actually 0. Now, I know someone's going to say, Cat Prince, it literally says +2 when he goes into Hitman. It's not actually +2. This is kind of like a similar situation with Halt Ron. The reason he has plus frames in this situation is because if he didn't, he'd have pretty much useless, like, it'd be kind of useless. You know, despite the fact that it has a counter hit property. Now, let me explain. When he's in Hitman, the fastest thing Lee has in Hitman is 111, which comes out at 12 frames. So if you do the math, 1+2 puts him into Hitman, transitions into +2. But if the fastest thing that Lee can do from being +2 is a 12 frame move, then technically it's no different from him being at neutral and both people just jabbing, right? If you jab and he does 1-1, you guys are going to trade with each other, right? And I don't recommend trying to trade with Lee, but you see what I mean right there. He's essentially 0. He's not +2, he's 0 because the fastest thing that he can do from Hitman is a 12 frame high. Now, if that move was 10 frames, then you actually could fairly say that, yo, he is actually +2, but he's actually not +2. He's actually 0 because the fastest thing he can do from Hitman is 1-1, right? Now, the key to dealing with this, like, the Hitman string, well, not really Hitman string, but his options in Hitman, is to sidestep right duck. Sidestep right duck will beat all options here, right? Including his homing move Power Crush, right? So I'm going to demonstrate sidestep right duck right here. Just like that. See, the homing Power Crush is very slow. Well, not very slow, but slow enough, you know what I mean? It's like 18 and 19 frames, right? And that's his only homing move. If you're in a situation where you block 1+2 and you're afraid of the mix-up, right? You're like, oh no, I don't want to challenge because boom, that could happen, right? Princey's +2, like no, right? I mean, Nina actually has this weird sequence where she could do this. Yeah, that's actually Nina specific, right? Nina could actually do that. Yeah, so I'm guessing I'm showing you a secret Nina tech right there. Like that's a Nina exclusive, right? But for most characters, you want to actually step right duck. Step right duck, right? And to prove to you that this does actually beat all options, because I'm not capping, this is actually real information. We're gonna do 1 + 2 1. Okay, there you go. It's +2. The fastest thing you do is 1 1 2, right? I mean, not 1 1 2, 1 1 1 1, right? The last hit, obviously, you can duck and launch, alright, no big deal, right? But if you step right duck, you beat all options, right? Step right duck. Step right duck, right? I tried to punish too earlier. Step right duck. It beats every option, right? And we're going to cover the fastest mid option you can do, which is 1 + 2. We're going to step right duck. You see? There you go. Step right duck. Step right duck. Step right duck. Might have to practice it a little bit. You just want to do one side step and then duck immediately. One side step and then duck immediately, right? That's all you want to do. That will beat every single option Lee has in Hitman, right? So there you go. I've given you the tech for dealing with the 1 + 2 into whatever. All options can be beaten by sidestep right. Just sidestep right once, right? Just one sidestep. You don't need to, don't sidewalk or you will get clipped by Hitman 3. Just sidestep, not sidewalk. Sidestep, duck. Sidestep right, duck. Sidestep right, duck. One sidestep input, duck, launch, right? And we're gonna cover another sequence right here. This is a common one. So you try and challenge here. He's -3, boom. I'm doing a down forward 1 after he's -3, and I'm getting counter hit by 2 2 3. Sometimes I'm trading, but if I'm slow, if I'm not, fast enough, that happens, right? And that's actually a Lee setup too as well. Now obviously jab would work in that situation, but anything slower than a jab and boom, you get opened up by 2 2 3, counter it. Now obviously this could be beaten by just ducking the second hit. The second hit will always be a high, so there actually is no mix-up. He actually doesn't have to commit to the second hit though, by the way, just letting you guys know. And if you're afraid you're not going to duck fast enough, you could just duck and do like while standing 4 or whatever 13 frame crouch option your character has. Let's cover another sequence right here. This is another one, back 4. Now, obviously with back 4, you can whiff punish it, but you got to be careful. A lot of League players do this to keep out, and then they might follow it up with back 4, right? You jab, boom, you get high crush, launched, boom, stuff like that. You can also step a lot of the options too, because he's -2 after this, so you can step. If you don't get him to whiff back 4, that's a good option. Try and whiff punish back 4, but it's easier said than done, right? And then another thing I want to hold on, we're gonna have to do this, right? I got to get him at the perfect range, right? I'm gonna cover his slide, so I'm gonna have to walk forward, back up, walk forward, back up, walk forward, from around this range. And that's a slide, right? As you notice from that range, the farther you are when Lee does his slide input, the safer the move becomes. The first time he did it right there, it was -10. Up close, -15 on block, right? Whoops. Punish, right? Now, okay, I'm gonna have to walk forward a little bit. Now from here, whoops, okay, God, hold on, we gotta do that again. Walk forward. Oh gosh. Okay, maybe I gotta... From here, -14, right? So you gotta be very aware of the range of where you block the slide. Up close here, it's gonna be, whoops, -15. From around this range, Oh gosh. It's so hard to record this sequence. Oh god, okay, this is embarrassing. Okay, right. Okay, goddamn. I wish he had a different move. Oh god. Well, you get the point, right? The further Lee is when he does the slide, the safer the slide becomes. So now that we covered most of his key sequences, we're actually going to start covering common moves, common/key moves that you will see with Lee, and how to deal with it. This part will be pretty simple. First one, 4-2-1. Block the first hit, duck the second hit. There is no mix-up, by the way, so yeah, it's not like King, where King can actually mix up his 4-2-1 with a mid. There is no mix-up. Boom, right? Another move you might see every now and then is down forward 4-4, 13 frames, mid-high. Block the first hit, duck the second hit, simple stuff. Now, another common move, key move you'll see with Lee is forward 4-3 or forward 4-1+2. Right? If they don't do the just frame version, it's -5. If they do the just frame version, it's +5, right? Now, obviously, you can block the first hit and then duck the second hit. Simple enough. But there is the mid option to worry about. Whoops. And I'd say the best option, honestly, is if your character has punch/kick parry like Lee, not Lee, Nina, Anna, Paul, and like I think 2 other characters actually, you know, Oscar or so, they can actually, as an option select, they can actually parry both the kick and the punch, because Nina's back 1+3 or back 2+4, just like Paul and Anna and Oscar. It will actually parry both kicks. It will parry punches and kicks. So if you have that option, it's better to go for this so you can actually get consistent damage every time. See, now even if Lee does the kick, whoops, boom, 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 you can parry it, right? Now, those are only certain characters that have that, by the way. Certain characters have that. Not every character in the game has that, okay? So, and another move that I see people get not checked by is wall standing 3-3, and it's pretty much infinite kicks, and if you don't know what it looks like, you've probably seen this online before. This is what it looks like. And as you can tell, it lives up to the name. You can actually do this move infinitely. And the more you do it, the less tracking it has. It becomes a more linear and linear and linear. And to the point where you're like this, right? Right, now, the thing with this move, if you block the first 2 hits and you think they're going to keep doing it, you can just step in any direction because it is super linear. Very linear. I'm not even moving, and as you can see, Lee is going off axis himself. And he also, pretty much, he can do, hold up, low, high, or mid, high. Oops, I wasn't recording, what the heck? This is the mid-high version, and then there's also low-high. But either way, you can just block the first 2 hits and then immediately just step. You can immediately just step in either direction, start sidewalking either direction. And sometimes, what I've noticed recently is when Lee players actually get hit by heat bursts, they immediately do wall standing 3-3, because getting hit with heat burst will actually put your character in full crouch, right? And then they'll do that they'll transition into wall standing 3-3 and they go into Hitman. Now, if a Lee player does this, they're actually launch punishable. right? So don't get fooled by this fake pressure. Like, it's not real, right? He goes into Hitman, that's launch punishable. While standing 3-3 into Hitman transition, minus 15. So yeah, do not fall for this. They like to do this for whatever reason after they get hit by a heat burst because it puts them in crouch. And then they'll do that, and then they'll transition into Hitman. If you see them transition to Hitman after Infinite Kick, immediately launch them. They're minus 15. It's not real, so don't fall for it. Also, we're gonna cover his strings off. We're gonna cover his strings off of 4. So obviously everyone knows about the high one, right? You can duck that one, but then he has 4-3-4. Very reactable. Once you see the last hit, just step in either direction. Very linear, and then just launch. If you get hit by that last hit, it will knock down. Right, so lock the first 2 hits, right? And then step and launch. And then he also has this. Oops. Wait. Whoops, error, hold up. Why is that coming out so late? Hold up. There you go, minus 13 on block. So do your best punish. And a move I wanted to talk about was, his low options. He's got down back 3, minus 12 on block. On hit, it's only minus 1. So you can actually take your turn. Just don't take your turn with a high, because you could fall for this. Whoops. That could be a thing. So it's minus 1. You can try and take your turn back. I recommend trying to take your turn back with a mid. He has down back 3+4. Kind of reactable because it's 21 frames. It's slow, but this actually has really decent tracking to both left and right side. On block, minus 13, so riskier than down back 3. And then, the low that everyone's been waiting for, down 3. Minus 15 on block. And on hit, hold up. On hit, it's actually, whoa, how do I get her to stop blocking? Like I said, on hit, minus 1. So, minus 1, and he can go into Hitman. Now, obviously, all Hitman options can be beaten by sidestep right duck. But a common thing that you'll see with lead players, a common flowchart where you'll see with lead players is this. Down 3 and 1+2 is like the main transition that lead players use to get into Hitman. Right? So don't be afraid. If you get hit with down 3 on normal hit, do not be afraid to challenge. Right? See, I can challenge with Nina's down forward 1-2. And still have enough time to toss out the mid and then react to the power crush, duck, launch, duck, launch. Or I can be ignorant and do this. Or I can be ignorant and do this. Now, this is only for certain characters that have good recovery frames. I can just duck afterwards. I can just duck and launch. On their down forward 1. I'll put a link in the description for a video I did that actually covered this same sequence, but with different other characters. So yeah, I'll put that in the description. So yeah, when you do block leads down 3, don't be afraid to challenge. And like I said before, sidestep right duck beats all options, as I demonstrated earlier in the video. And if you block down 3, minus 15 on block. So yeah, this is pretty much, it's a really good low for leads. Definitely one of Lee's best lows. It's a counter hit launcher on counter hit. But he does take risk because if you block this, he's in the air, right? Most characters will have a 15 frame punish, a 15 frame launcher. So yeah, if you block down 3, I know it's not often you block a move like down 3, but if you do block it, make sure that you punish and you make it hurt, okay? And then another key move we're going to run into, well, more so I wanted to cover his options in Hitman. So again, Hitman, 1-1-1, this is his fastest option that he can do. You can duck the second hit. I mean, not the second hit, you can duck the third hit. He actually has only one low from Hitman, and it's Hitman 4. It looks like this. It's 22 frames, 22 to 24 frames, and it's super reactable, alright? Like, very reactable. Hold on, I'm gonna try and have Nina block. Right. Very reactable, and if you do block the low, which you should, minus 13 on block. I actually block this move consistently online and offline. Very reactable. This move used to be launch punishable, but in order to make the move more viable, they made it minus 13 on block. So if you do block it, minus 13. That is his only low from Hitman, and it's reactable. Now his other options from Hitman is this, high crush launcher, Hitman 2, minus 13 on block. So again, do your character's best 13 frame punish. Kind of has a little bit of pushback, but not really. And then he has Hitman 3, which is the high homing power crush, which is pretty chunky. You don't really want to get hit by that. It will knock down if it does hit you. And then he has Hitman 1+2, is pretty much his safest option. Minus 5 leaves him in Hitman. Also, Lee can actually step while he's in Hitman 2, so yeah, take advantage of that. Hitman 1-4, high mid, pretty good, also safe. So that pretty much covers all of his options in Hitman. Yeah, I know work is not calling me. I might have to edit that out, right? And he now has this heat engager, down 4-3-2-3. This used to be minus 15 in Tekken Tag 2, but now it's been changed to minus 14. So again, yeah, you're going to see this move now. Minus 14 on block. Do your character's best 14 frame move and punish it. You cannot duck the second hit. You cannot duck the second hit on block. They changed it to have a jail to make his string more viable. And, you know, since they also made it his new heat engager. Next, we're going to cover wall standing 2-3. Minus 13 on block. Second hit comes out at 21 frames. He has a mix-up option, which is wall standing 2-4. The second hit option comes out at 27 frames, so you actually can fuzzy this. Whoops. You can fuzzy it with practice and then, you know, duck and launch if they try and do that. So yeah, Lee's looking pretty honest right now, but this character is pretty good though at the same time, right? Great character, strong character in my opinion, but again, this character does have honest counterplay that any player can actually take advantage of and use. Let's see, what's another move? Another key move. I should have wrote down like a little script. I do these videos like pretty much off the dome, so like, you know, one low I forgot to cover is Silvertail, which is full crouch down forward 4. Has pretty decent tracking, but it's minus 14. So much riskier than down back 3+4 or or down back 3, but not as risky as down 3, which we discussed earlier in the video that is launch punishable. And another key move that Lee players do a lot is, what was it? Wall running 3-4, right? Wall running 3-4. If he transitions a Hitman, he's more. If he doesn't do Hitman, he's +3. If he goes in Hitman, he's +6. You've seen this move a lot. Now, a lot of times in neutral, like, don't be afraid to, like, if you think they're gonna go for it. If you think they're gonna go for it, just sidestep left. Actually, let me re-record this because I got like a down 4-3 input for some reason. There we go, right? Now you want to step this move to your character's left. Stepping left is more viable than if you step right. You're most likely going to get clipped because it has pretty decent tracking to the right. You can step it to the right, but you have to do it beforehand preemptively. And it's gonna be more consistent if you step left, as you can see. So again, when you're at that like range 3 with Lee and you feel like wall running 3-4 is coming, step left. Do not step right. Step left. You want to sidestep Hitman right. Okay. When he's in Hitman, you want to step right. When he's from range 3, you want to step left. Obviously, boom. Okay, another move I want to cover is this launcher. Right here. Last hit does end in a high. But again, you could just duck the last hit. Oops. Duck the last hit and launch, pretty simple. And that also, hold up. There's also back one. There's this string. You can actually mix it up. It can go high high or high high mid. I mean high mid high. Right? This one you're kind of pretty much just guessing because he could do the high mid high or he could just do double high. Right? He could do this. So it's more so like a guess on whether or not the League player is gonna commit to that one. Sometimes League players will do this just in case they feel like you're anticipating them doing back 1-1 1+2, which is the 3-hit version. So they might throw out the 2-hit version just to test you out. And also back 3-3. This, a lot of people consider this the brain rot Lee low. This is another low I forgot to cover. Obviously, you just duck the first hit and stay ducking and punish the second hit. If it hits you, it is -4. If you're afraid of them looping this on you, you can actually just step left. And boom, right? Which is why a lot of higher level League players, they like to follow this move up with 1+2. But like I said earlier in the video, that if they were to like say, let's say they do something like this, right? Damn, I didn't hit record. Okay, like we said earlier in the video, that a lot of League players are going to try and cover. If they hit you with this, okay, how do I get her to not block, right? Right, so boom, I hit Nina with this, right? They're worried that you're gonna step. Smarter League players will try and like toss out 1+2 to prevent you from stepping, and then boom, go into Hitman. And then maybe from Hitman they might do, I don't know, they might do what, this sequence. Okay, we'll do this, right? Alright, so that could be a sequence that you could see online, right? But like we discussed earlier, right? Sidestep duck beats everything in that option, right? So see, that's called counterplay right there, right? Sidestep right duck beats everything, right? Okay guys, this is future prints from later on into the video where here are some moves that I actually forgot to include, so we're gonna include them right here. 2-1-4 low. You're barely gonna see this move, but just to show you guys, it's launch punishable, -15 if you do block it. You're not gonna really see high level lead players do this. And then this is up forward 3 1. Now if I press a button here, it actually launches me on a counter hit. -12 on block, and the second hit comes out at 21 to 22 frames. You can't parry it because it's too fast. So block the second hit and punish -13. There's also a high variation. So that's the high, and there we go. Now the high actually comes out at 25 to 27 frames. So you can actually fuzzy it. Right? So mid -13, -12. And the high, you can just duck the second hit. It's fuzzy. You can fuzzy it, so there's essentially no mix-up if you can actually fuzzy it. Another move I forgot to include right here. This is Lee's down 4-4. You can get hit by the first hit and then low parry the second hit. Or you can get hit by the first 2 hits and then low parry the third hit at any point in time. There you go. And if you do want to block the full string, it's -15. I mean -20. So yeah, boom, there's your punish, right? -20, so every character should be able to launch this. Some League players will actually do this to close out a round, so you actually might see that move even at high level. And I wanted to talk about his punch parry. I also think you guys shouldn't be doing too many punches against Lee, because he actually has one of the best punch parries in the game. Right? Pretty good. One of the best punch parries. So if you're, sometimes League players will do a move that's negative and bait you into trying to take your turn back with a punch. So be cautious of that, and sometimes you gotta switch up your moves from punches to kicks. You know, throw some kicks in there, throw some knees if your character has some knees. When I played Fighting GM, he did this a lot against me, and it forced me to actually stop doing too many punches because I was getting parried left to right. So that's just another thing to take into consideration. Obviously you can bait it and then launch. So yeah, those are the moves that I actually forgot to include. Hopefully that covers everything about Lee. I'm pretty sure I already covered the wall standing 1-2. Right? There's no mix-up. It's either wall standing 1-4, which is mid-high, or wall standing 1-2, which is also mid-high. So yeah, again, there is no mix-up. And League players will actually use this as a knowledge check, where if they think you don't have the reaction time, they might do something like this. Right? And then, you know, they'll try and counter hit you with 2-2-2. So make sure to duck the second hit and launch. Or even if you don't launch, just duck the second hit and do something, right? Don't let them just do this to you for free, right? And with that, I can actually end the video. Like, comment, subscribe. I will be posting other anti-character guides in the future. I'll try and be live streaming this game on Twitch when Armor King comes out. I know I haven't really been posting much Tekken content recently, but I do plan on posting more content when Armor King comes out. So, you know, if you're interested, join the Discord, hang out, get matches with other players in the Discord, all that good stuff. And also, I don't know who I gotta talk to, but like, do I need clout in order to participate in Mike Hollow and all of their guys' like beef sets? I don't have beef with any players. I would just like to play Pork Chop just for fun. I don't know if I need clout in order to do that, because I'm pretty much a low subscriber count. I only have like 700 subs, so I'm kind of like a nobody. So if you guys actually do find these videos useful and entertaining, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share it with people that I guess hate Lee or don't like or very weak in the Lee matchup. After seeing the results of how Moonsault lost to D all the way G and pretty much witnessing the worst Tekken gameplay I've seen in a very long time, my next video will obviously be an anti-Eddie guide. If anybody could put me in touch with Moonsault Slayer and maybe I could coach him in the Eddie matchup, I would love to do it. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out. Enjoy your day.